With 2021 upon us finally, as many of us do, we resolved to have a much fitter year. It can be difficult to be able to find the time and the motivation to work out, but honestly, I feel like this is where VR really shines. How great would it be for a family member to comment, "Wow, you've lost so much weight, how did you do it?" And to be able to say, "Through playing video games. Take that, mother." With VR on the rise, I see you, new Quest 2 owners. This also means that there's a lot of options out there for cardio games that don't feel like working out. I'll show you my favorites, as well as mention what body parts that particular game mostly works out, such as upper body, core, or lower body, to help you plan out your workouts better. I actually recommend buying multiple games because as your body gets used to that particular game, it may want more of a challenge, as well as you might get frustrated or unmotivated with one, you can always switch to another. Fun fact about me, I used to compete in bodybuilding in the least muscular division, which is called the bikini division. I know unfortunately I don't look it now because this was several years ago, but I still have a lot of information up here on this noggin. I'm not going to get too much into detail on this because I know that you're mostly just here for the games, but remember when setting your fitness goals, in order to get the best results you can, you want to make sure that they're SMART goals. That is specific, which is the who, what, why, where, which, when, measurable, or something you can track, achievable, which is realistic and obtainable, relevant, or making sure the goal matters to you, and time-bound, setting multiple deadlines for yourself, so what do you want to achieve 1 week from now, 1 month from now, etc. You can actually use the SMART system for any resolutions or goals you may have, but for the purpose of this video, we're assuming you want to work out more. Anyway, on to the games. Let's start off with some games that focus more on the upper body, starting with the well-known classic Beat Saber. Beat Saber is a great game for people new to VR or VR fitness. If you haven't played it before, you basically slice colored blocks coming at you with your sabers. The arrows on the blocks indicate in which direction to slice. Standalone, Beat Saber comes with a lot of excellent maps and songs to work out to, but where it really shines is through its modding community. With a little technical know-how to get it working, you can find all sorts of popular songs, user-created environments, and maps that keep Beat Saber interesting indefinitely. I find that Beat Saber primarily works out the arms and shoulders, although depending on the map, you might also get a few squats and dodges in. Fit Beat is an excellent example of a Beat Saber map that leans towards being more fitness-oriented. Once you get used to playing Beat Saber for a while, you may find that it becomes less physically challenging and more mentally challenging. It's when you hit this point that I recommend alternating and trying a different game that still gets you good exercise. Beat Saber supports online multiplayer of up to 4 people at once, so you can compete with friends. The Virtual Reality Institute of Health and Exercise compares it to the equivalent of playing tennis, burning about 6 to 8 calories per minute. You can buy Beat Saber on the Steam, Oculus, and PlayStation Store. Next off, we have Until You Fall, which is a hack-and-slash roguelite set in a very colorful fantasy world. You move from one instance to the next, clearing all the enemies from that area in order to progress further. You have different melee types of weapons to choose from maces to swords, daggers, and more, and you also have various magic power-ups you can use to make combat a little easier temporarily. Like the description implies, there's a lot of rapid hacking and slashing. Larger bosses and mini-bosses will require you to do things like ducking in a certain direction or blocking at just the right times. Other than the occasional ducking, this game works out your arms and shoulders with some core work. You can equip a weapon in each hand to use actively, but I found that instead of going ham with both, I would primarily use right to swing and left to block, so if you're going for fitness, just make sure you remember to actually use both arms actively. The VR Health Institute compares Until You Fall to the equivalent of using an elliptical machine, burning about 4 to 6 calories per minute. You can buy Until You Fall from the Steam, Oculus, and PlayStation Store. Ragnarok is a game in which you use the power of drums to hit runes to the beat in order to lead your Viking ship to victory. While simple in nature, I found the music choices to be refreshing compared to the typical dance and EDM music you hear in other games. I actually found this game to be more taxing on the arms compared to Beat Saber, as I would put more force behind each strike of the drum. Ragnarok is great for working out your arms and shoulders, but there isn't really anything in the way of working out your legs, as you pretty much just stand in one place. Either way, it's still a really fun game that I highly recommend you add to your VR fitness rotation. Ragnarok also has a really cool multiplayer feature in which you can race boats with up to 6 players. The VR Health Institute had not submitted a rating yet at the time this video was posted. You can buy Ragnarok on the Steam store. Pistol Whip is one of the few VR games on here that I can say is probably primarily lower body, which may sound weird because you'd assume by shooting bad guys you'd get more of an arm workout, but let me explain. In Pistol Whip, yes, your primary objective is to shoot the bad guys that appear. The more on beat to the music you're able to do this, the higher your score will be. The default playstyle is with one pistol in your primary hand, leaving your other hand pretty much useless. However, where it shines isn't really with the shooting you have to do, but with the dodging. Please be careful with how you dodge bullets. Make sure when you dodge to try to avoid doing matrix dodges that can hurt your back or twist an ankle. Don't forget to squat. I find that the best method to dodging bullets is by using a circular motion with a squat at the end. This actually proves to work out your core a bit as well. If you really want a squat heavy challenge, I recommend trying out the Cage Fight map from the 2089 campaign. The 𝐍𝐎 𝐷 compares pistol whip to the equivalent of playing tennis with an estimated 6 to 8 calories burned per minute. You can buy Pistol Whip on the Steam, Quest, and PlayStation Store. 𝐷 is a fitness game that I enjoy spacing out to, and while that sounds negative, I actually enjoy it for that fact. On certain days I don't want to think too hard or worry about reaching high scores. 𝐷 provides exactly that, just a simple way to get a workout in that doesn't require much thought. There are multiple things I enjoy about 𝐷, the large variety of songs, the pre-made workouts that can be anywhere from 2 minutes long to an hour, depending on the amount of time you have. You can also create playlists for your favorite songs in order to even further customize the length of your workouts and ensure that your favorite songs will make it in the list. I enjoy 𝐷 because it is one of the few that also tries to integrate more leg exercise by introducing squats and dodges. In addition, you of course still get a good upper body workout through punches, jabs, crosses, hooks, uppercuts, and blocks, and make sure that you get an even workout by having you switch stances intermittently. I highly recommend picking up this game to add to your fitness rotation. It's great for both newbies and veterans alike. It also features a multiplayer option so you can be able to work out with your friends online. The 𝐍𝐎 Health Institute compares 𝐷 to the equivalent of playing tennis with an estimated 6 to 8 calories burned per minute. You can buy 𝐷 on the Steam, Oculus, and PlayStation Store. I have 2 other VR boxing game recommendations which, unlike 𝐷, actually allows you to punch people, adding a whole new level of exercise to your workouts. Out of all the games on the list, I will say that the next 2 are probably the most intense in terms of workouts. I actually spent a couple of days sore after playing these, but I may have overdone it, so remember to pace yourself. The Thrill of the Fight is a single-player boxing tourney game in which you face different opponents of increasing difficulty to eventually be named the champion. There are multiple fighters you must face to get to the top, but you can set the difficulty as needed to make for an easier or more difficult workout. Thrill of the Fight uses your whole body. You can use all types of punches, such as jabs, crosses, hooks, and uppercuts, but you also must remember to defend yourself by blocking and dodging. Unfortunately for both this game and the next one I'll talk about, Creed, uppercuts don't land very well as my controller hand just gets stuck on their chest, preventing me from landing a good blow. If you don't want to become king of the ring just yet, there are also various bags and dummies around that you can use to track your accuracy and hits. The stats in this game are pretty impressive, and it definitely shows that the harder you hit, the more effective you'll be. The 𝐍𝐎 Health Institute compares Thrill of the Fight to the equivalent of rowing with an estimated 8 to 10 calories burned per minute. You can buy it on the Steam and Oculus Store. Similar to Thrill of the Fight, we have Creed Rise to Glory. The mechanics of the fight are basically the same, but I find the graphics and arenas to be a little bit better and more immersive with this one. As Adonis Creed, you compete in ladder matches to eventually become the champion. Besides career mode, you also have customizable free play, in which you can customize your opponent, yourself, and the arena, and there's also minigame-based training, montage style. Creed has a multiplayer mode as well in which you can beat up your friends. It's here that you can pick from iconic fighters such as classic Rocky, Lang, Drago, and more. The 𝐍𝐎 Health Institute compares Creed to the equivalent of playing tennis with an estimated 6 to 8 calories burned per minute. Creed Rise to Glory is available on Steam, Oculus, and PlayStation Store. When putting both side by side, I would say that the Thrill of the Fight is more of a realistic boxing simulator, while Creed has a better theatrical experience. I feel like the hit tracking was also better with the former, though it's a shame it doesn't include multiplayer. Both, however, will get you very sweaty and will provide with an excellent workout. Both of them are excellent at cardio, upper body, core, and if you have a good stance and are good at dodging, you can get a pretty decent leg workout in as well. Make sure to stay hydrated if you play these. 𝐂𝐎𝐍 is a completely different dance game from all the others. If you remember that Japanese game show, Hole in the Wall, the premise is basically what you have to do in this game, except you're dancing to music. Thanks to my friend Miss Maxima, I learned that you don't really have to actually worry about your feet and elbows that much. Just pay attention to where your head and hands are. Still, even learning this, 𝐂𝐎𝐍 is a great full body workout as some of the walls require you to squat or slide to the left or right before striking a pose. In addition to posing, squatting, and scooting, there are also coins you can grab that adds a little challenge but also extra points to your score by the end of the map. 𝐂𝐎𝐍 also boasts an impressive amount of tracks available in the base game alone. This game is mostly great for cardio and getting you to move around. I didn't find it as strenuous on the arms and legs like other games. 𝐂𝐎𝐍 offers custom songs and mapping through their separate editing program, which looks interesting to use. users. At the time of this posting, there was no rating from the VR Health Institute. You can find 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐄𝐒 on the Steam, Oculus, and PlayStation Store. Synthriders is another dance rhythm game that's pretty easy to follow. You tap the appropriately colored orbs with your controllers. Green orbs means you use one hand for all those orbs in the line, and yellow means you use both hands. There's a pretty wide variety of songs, and the DLC, which must be purchased separately, is fantastic. You ride on a floating space raft through various interesting environments. Synthriders is a very dancey game that has some of your usual dodge and squat blocks, but not many, although some come at you pretty quickly. In Synthriders, you are primarily going to be working out your arms and shoulders, similar to Beat Saber, but in a smoother, more flowy way. Synthriders has a modding community as well, albeit not as large as Beat Saber, but if you check out this video I created a few months ago, you can get it configured and even take advantage of some interesting Twitch integrations. The VR Health Institute compares Synthriders to the equivalent of riding an elliptical, burning about 4 to 6 calories per minute. You can buy it on the Steam and Oculus store. Despite not having as many music tracks as the other dance games, in my opinion, Audio Trip emulates the feeling of dance the best. It is choreographed so well by real choreographers. Audio Trip is a great arm and core workout as well as good general cardio. There are some walls that require you to dodge, but it seems like it mostly tracks the hands and not necessarily the whole body. For maximum impact, really get into the groove and shuffle back and forth like the Holo Dancer does. There are 3 variations of gems to hit, one that you just need to touch with your controller, another you need to slam your controller against, and the long snake tunnel note that you need to hold until the end. While it does not offer custom maps or modding, there is an in-game customizer that allows you to place your own note types wherever you want, speed up or slow down the songs, and much more. Audio Trip is a really great dance game that I hope continues to provide more music updates in the future. The VR Health Institute compares Audio Trip to the equivalent of playing tennis with an estimated 6 to 8 calories burned per minute. You can buy it on the Steam and Quest store. Dance Collider is one of the more visually interesting of all the dance rhythm games as you face off against different dancers on their stages, each one featuring a different type of environment. The music type is all dance electronic, but it's actually really well done, and all done by one artist, F777. Like the other games before it, you hit the colored orbs with a controller that matches that color. There are no squat or dodge walls, but the game is good about bringing you a lot higher or lower to hit the orbs than other games. In some maps, you go from a high to low constantly, basically forcing you to do squats but making you feel like you're dancing. The choreography is pretty fun, and the orbs can come from the left or the right of you, forcing you to move. This game will primarily work out your arms, shoulders, and core, though depending on the song, you'll probably get a leg workout in as well. Dance Collider has a dance editor as well, allowing you to upload songs in-game and start creating your own maps. The VR Health Institute compares Dance Collider to the equivalent of riding an elliptical, burning about 4 to 6 calories per minute. You can buy it on the Steam, Oculus, and PlayStation store. Last but not least, although not really a game, I feel like this video would not be complete without mentioning this really great VR fitness tracker. Your tracks your fitness in any VR game and will do things like count estimated heart rate, how many squats you've done, estimated calories burned, and basically track stats for you. There's also a level system in which you can basically level up yourself. You can get an in-game overlay, or in some games a watch, to keep track of your progress, but you can disable the overlay if you find it to be too distracting. Ure is free on the Steam store, but you can also find it on side quests, and I recommend it over Oculus Move because, well, honestly, Ure came first, had its ideas stolen, their app intentionally broken by Oculus, and, well, it just works a lot better. So those are just a few of the VR, dance, fitness, rhythm games out there. There's obviously more, but these are my current favorites that definitely help me work up a sweat. If you have any other recommendations, I would love to hear about them and to be able to try them, so feel free to post your favorites in the comments below. Also, if you're looking for any VR-themed gear to work out in, I have 2 new designs out in my merch shop. I have socks, t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, etc. So check them out. A link will be in the description below. I also stream live on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific in case you want to check out a variety of VR games. And I also have a Patreon page at patreon.com/AtomBombBody where I post a variety of tutorials from VR to live streaming to content creation, tips, tricks, and guides. Anyway, as always, keep on creating and never lose that drive to improve. I'll see you on the next one. Okay, my hip. Oh, help! Oh God! Oh no! Oh God! Oh God! Oh Jesus! Okay, well.